Greetings gamers, KWK here with another long play for you, and today we are playing Donkey Kong on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is not only just the first game for Donkey Kong, it also debuted Jumpman, who later became to be known better as Mario in the Nintendo universe. The plot and gameplay of this is very straightforward. Basically, you Jumpman, aka Mario, have to go through different levels to avoid obstacles caused by Donkey Kong. And while you're avoiding his obstacles, you gain points and different power-ups. And once you get to the top of the level for each one, you save Pauline, which apparently is the very first girl Mario was out to save. Princess Peach must be upset about that one. Donkey Kong is considered one of the earliest examples of the platform game genre. As the first platform game to feature jumping, it requires the player to jump between gaps and over obstacles or approaching enemies. My first experience with this game was actually not on a Nintendo system at all. It was on a Mattel Intellivision, and it looked completely different from this version. It was not as true to the arcade as the Nintendo version is at all, and the Intellivision version was much more difficult because I had to use an Intellivision controller. This game actually feels and handles and looks probably the closest to the arcade compared to a lot of the other systems from its time. But in the same token, once I played this game on the original Nintendo and I had it, I felt a little bit robbed just because at that time I had Super Mario Brothers and other Nintendo games that had many more levels and like storylines, and I just didn't put two and two together that this is just an arcade game to where you just keep on trying to get a higher score. Back then I really didn't have any interest in a higher score. I was just interested in seeing all the levels of a game and completing it. So me getting to the end boss and then seeing an end story or something to read or watch at the end of a game, I felt I was done with the game. Score did not come across as anything interesting in the least to me when I was a kid. So when basically I played this on my Nintendo Entertainment System, I felt like, okay, I completed the first 4 levels and then it showed the end and it repeated. To me, the game was done. Whereas in reality, since it's an arcade game, it's more of a high score, and it's whoever can keep on looping through all the levels and not running out of lives, and whoever gets that ultimate high score is what I should have been thinking about and shooting for. But even to me as a kid, that seemed a little bit too repetitive for my liking at the time. But I have to say, after looking back at this game now and seeing the mechanics and how much is involved to keep on going through the game over and over and over and racking up the score, it does keep my interest a lot more now that I really fully understand the goal of getting that score. I mean, all I can personally tell from playing this game is, after beating it once and then going through, everything seems to stay pretty much the same. I don't know if maybe possibly the barrels start going faster, or maybe there's more barrels being thrown at you, or maybe a little bit of a difference. I mean, maybe somebody can let me know out there if as you play this game, do some aspects of it get a little bit more difficult depending on how many times you've beaten it, or is it strictly just seeing how consistent you can stay and continually beating the game over and over and over to rack up that high score. The only other difference I've noticed is as you beat the game over and over, you get more points than you normally would previously. So if I did this first round and I get so many points, the next round that I fully complete, I'll get more points for it. And that's how you can rack up to a pretty high score as long as you just don't die and you keep on going. Either way you look at this game, whether you want to get that high score or maybe you just want to put another game under your belt that you've quote-unquote beaten just because you've gone through one whole set of levels and you've seen the ending of the game, then it's a great choice out there. I mean, this game to this day is still very fun to play. It's got great mechanics. I mean, there's really nothing bad to say about the game other than you can complain that maybe there's only few levels, so the variety is kind of shot. But you still got to keep in mind, this arcade game came out in 1981 and was ported to the Nintendo in 1985. So this game was already 4 years old when it was first debuted on the original Nintendo. So it's not very fair to put this game up against like Zelda and Super Mario Brothers when in comparison, because this game totally started something that those games wouldn't even exist without it. So I'd say if anything, for nostalgia and for appreciation to see where a root of a lot of Nintendo's gaming has come from, it is a must to play this game, because without experiencing this game, you don't get to experience where the beginning of Nintendo came from, where the beginning of a lot of great games in the video game world have come from, and really a piece of history you're experiencing when you play this game, even to this day. It is still fun. I think it has aged extremely well, considering the graphics, the gameplay, the controls, the whole storyline itself. Keeping in mind that this is a score-based arcade game, this is definitely one of the top ones out there, and I can understand why to this day people are still out there trying to get a high score in this game, because it is extremely addicting and fun to play. But other than that, that's all I really have to say about this one. I mean, definitely try it out. Let me know if you guys have any tips and tricks in this game, or let me know what kind of high scores you've gotten in this game. I personally haven't gotten that high of a score. I think I've gone through maybe 3 or 4 rounds tops before I've ran out of lives in this game. I don't really know what score that is. Maybe one day, if I get enough demand, I'll try to get as high of a score I possibly could, but I just wanted to reflect and give a quick long play to show the 4 levels and give everybody a taste of what they're missing out on, because truly, this is a great game that everybody needs to appreciate if they appreciate Nintendo and history. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment and subscribe, guys.